Ugh. So I just got done watching this. Dungeons and Dragons 2. What is it called? Wrath of the Dragon God. And it's awful. It's really bad. Really, really bad. Holy crap. I just got finished watching it and I'm still sort of trying to process everything. How shit it is. I had seen the first one a long time ago before I actually ever played Dungeons and Dragons, and I thought, like, growing up, that the game was like the movie, so I never really wanted to play the game as a kid. And growing up, I learned differently. Um, so I didn't like the first one. It wasn't my cup of tea. I thought it was pretty lame. Um, but this one, the issue with it really, I think, is the CGI and the special effects, and they try and be all cool with the special effects, and you really can tell that they think that they're really good with them because they're everywhere, and it's ridiculous. Um, like every opportunity they have, there's a new monster with a new special effect that is so bad. And it's not like this isn't like the 90s. This is 2005. This is like, you know, about 10 years ago. And I know things weren't great 10 years ago, but God, don't use CGI if you can't use it. Oh my God. And they had a few practical effects in it, like practical costumes and stuff. And those were good. Those were like way better. They weren't great, but they were way, way, way better than the CGI. Oh shit. Awful. Garbage. Terrible. Like, there was that show, Merlin, which I love that show. It's a really campy, silly show. But that came out like 2 years later, and a TV show, and the budget was god awful, and the CGI in that was better. I don't know what they were doing. And this is, it wouldn't piss me off, but this is Dungeons and Dragons. Like, if this was like some random, small budget movie with no name behind it, whatever, sure, no big studio behind it, okay, I get that. Sure, great, awesome. They're trying something new, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but whatever. That's okay. But this Dungeons and Dragons, fucking Warner Bros, and it's garbage, the writing was, oh my God, terrible. Like, they had like the first like 20 minutes, I don't know what was going on. They were, there was a city. Well, first of all, there was this like opening monologue where you had the what's his name? Begins with a D. Dam something. I forgot his name already. He's the main villain, and he's like talking about how he's gonna, I don't know, take over the world, and he was undead, and because of his master, something, and then movie opens. So already it's a mess because you're like thrown into this world, and it's just so jarring. And then like the intro, like the actual special, like the opening title sequence was mostly good. Like, I was like, oh wow, this actually looks like decent. Like the images and stuff they were showing, like, oh, it's kind of cool, like Dungeons and Dragons. Like, it looked like Dungeons and Dragons like 3, the third edition style. It was cool. And then it goes. They try to do a CGI lava monster, and it was bad, really bad. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, all of the the intro story, or the story right in the beginning was really lame, and then they opened to the main character, Beric. Sir Beric was his name, and they have his little thing going, and he's he was a former knight of the Kingsguard, and then he is in a relationship with this mage lady, so that's cool and neat and whatever. But then there's like, oh, this guy comes in and he's like, oh, help me. At this other city, like let's come to this city and let's go. And so he and his girlfriend go to the city and they go to this cave, and it's like a poison like chamber thing, and she that she's a mage, so she like gets rid of the poison, and he's like, oh, I ran into something that was relevant a long time ago. Oh, it was really convenient. And he like opens up this like the stone. It's an eyelid to a dragon, and so it's a dragon underneath like this mountain thing. And he's like, "You guys got to get out of here." And then it's like they're back to Ishmael as the city, and like they're back there, and it's like, what happened? Like what? It's all like this. I am not cutting in between the scenes. This is scene by scene by scene. Um, and you get this. Somehow, you get to this quest where they have to go rest. They have to go find this orb that Damadon, something like that, that he has. Um, and that's it. They gotta go get an orb. And then what's crazy is that they, instead of taking characters they already have this like this sort of fighter guy who is barely in the movie, and he was like in the beginning, and then he like he's barely in the movie at all. Um, and they have the mage. That's a decent party. Go with them. Bring them or whatever. But no, they find these random ass four other random ass people. And he's like, oh yeah, I remember him from this adventure I went on. This adventure I went on. And I'm like, what adventure are you talking about? This is like all irrelevant. Like this is all completely irrelevant to the viewer. I don't know like what you're talking about. And then they have they bring all of them together. You got this female barbarian, this male rogue, elven mage, and monk dude, who barely says a damn thing. The monk and the elf are completely irrelevant because they don't do shit. They're like the only thing they're useful for is either dying or casting a teleportation spell. That's pretty much it. That's all they do. And then the fight the not the fighter, the barbarian and the rogue have more of a plot line, and it was kind of interesting. I'd say the barbarian has the most of a the most story. But then again, that story, there's like a whole side plot with her brother that Beric killed like a long time ago, and he's like, I'm sorry for killing your brother. I did what I had to do, and she's like, oh, don't worry about it. But then they don't like talk about like, oh, what did he do? What was so bad? Nope, nothing. So that was yeah, that's it. That's the whole. I feel like the whole movie was half of it. I felt like I had to read some sort of lore book that doesn't exist to understand and to really grasp and appreciate. And it's so annoying because like there are ways that you can drop hints to a larger universe, and I think that's what they're trying to go for. Like this universe is bigger than you really expected. Sure, awesome, cool, but you know what, they didn't do it. They acted like the stuff they were mentioning, like that happened off camera happened on camera, and that just doesn't work for me. I just was like, I got nothing to go on. There's nothing. Uh, so yeah, that was pretty much the plot of the entire movie. Is them trying to find this orb. Then there's a thing with the dragon, and it's just bad CGI all around. And it's like, and like I said, every chance they get, like every room they enter, is like a new friggin' weird monster that they have to shoot out, and it's like, oh, cool, look at all these cool CGI effects we can do. Look at all this fire and this, it's flying now, and stuff. And there's a scene where it's towards the end where like this gargoyle thing, it's also a lich, weird, is is like flying, and it's flying in midair, and they do like a cut. They cut in the middle, so you have it flying, and then it like zooms up and it shows it flying more, and then it zooms back out and it shows it flying. You don't need to do that. Don't do that. And then when it's trying to land, it does this weird like contortion thing. Oh, so bad. I bought this because I thought, well, I didn't think it was gonna be good, but I bought it just to sort of have it because it was like $10. I'll keep it. I'll show my friends who also like Dungeons and Dragons because they haven't seen it, and it will be a fun time. It will be a fun roasting movie because this is a really good bad movie. And don't get me wrong, there's a few scenes, like, especially with the rogue stuff, where they're looking at this chest and they can't unlock a lock, and he just pulls out this like vial of, remember what was it? Stomach acid of a purple worm, I think, or violet worm, and he's like, it'll melt through anything, and he pours a little bit on and it just melts the entire lock. That's cool, because you know what? I buy that rogue would have that in his belt pouch, and he was really nifty with like all of his tricks and stuff like that, and he's probably my favorite character, only because he genuinely did not give a shit throughout the entire movie, and that was basically my opinion on it as well. So that's the movie, and Dungeons and Dragons: Wrath of the Dragon God. That's my fan from my computer in the background, and I'm Matt, and this was a terrible movie review. I don't know, I just felt like doing this, so that's what happened.